Okay, good morning, little ones and not so little ones. Good morning to you. How are you guys doing? Good. Thank you for answering. That's awesome. Good. Well, I'm excited. So I wanted to start off this morning by asking a question. How many of you guys like challenges? And that could go for the older folks too, yeah? All right, sweet. We need to talk later. I like challenges too. I only saw one hand go up though. Okay, do you like challenges? Yeah, okay. Yeah, challenges. Good. Okay, good. Yeah, challenges can be a lot of fun, and that's why a lot of people do challenging things. In fact, that's kind of a big part of life. And it's important that we learn to love challenges, because how many of the older folks can tell you that there's going to be some challenges in life? And so if you don't like challenges, you might be in for a bumpy ride. Wanted to tell you guys about a challenge that I did. I was 14. Anybody here 14 years old or around that old? Really? All right, nice, sweet. 14, yep. Okay, so I started training with my class to do a bike trip. And so we were biking about 15 to 20 miles a day in preparation, because we were planning a trip to bike with panniers on our bicycles, and we were going to be going up and over passes and mountains. And around here, we had planned a 300-mile round trip bicycle trip. So we had all of our sleeping gear with us. We had all of our food with us. And so we were training for months and months. We were so excited. We took off, and it's amazing when you do the preparations necessary to meet a challenge. It can be a lot of fun. If you don't do the preparations, it often is a lot less fun. But we had done our preparations, and we went all the way. It was so from Paonia, Colorado, where I grew up, we rode our bikes all the way over to the San Luis Valley. If anybody knows, in fact, I know some people. Yes, over to near Crestone area. We biked all the way over there, and everything went absolutely perfect on the way there. On the way back, on the other hand, we had to repeat the 150 miles. We had a slightly different route coming back, and everything went not well on the way back. All of the things that you would expect. So one of the times we had wind that was so strong that it took all of us having to line up and taking turns being the one in the front, because the wind was so strong, and it felt like we were just barely moving inches at a time. It was so strong that we got to the top of a pass. Finally, we started riding down thinking, finally downhill, right? Everybody loves downhill on a bicycle. We were riding down the hill, and the wind was so strong it stopped us and started pushing us back up the hill. Honest to God, we're stopped. The wind is kicking up little pebbles and hitting us in the face, and so the entire day we are struggling against the wind. And it was an amazing thing to get to the end of the day so exhausted. And I remember our teacher. He said, "I am so proud of you." He said there were multiple times that he said he wanted to lift up. He was the leader of the whole group. He wanted to lift up his bike and throw it on the ground and jump on top of it. And he said, but all of you are here. You've made it. We made it the distance we needed to that day. We were cheerful. We were enthusiastic and well-behaved due to exhaustion. And then the next morning we woke up, and rather than wind, we had sleet and snow and cold and mud, and so everything that could have gone wrong on the way back, we had to actually call on some friends that he had in Cresta Butte and sleep in the foyer of their house because we were all cold and wet. And so life can be challenging, but the beautiful thing is when we face it with a good attitude and with perseverance and with character, then even the challenges of life, we look back at that trip, and all of us have amazing memories. And part of what made it so special was because we had to fight so hard to accomplish it. So don't be afraid of challenges. Press into them. And also prepare for them, because they will come. But God will see you through if you don't give up. So let's pray together. God, these are your young people. God, they are just beginning this beautiful journey we call life. But along with the beauty comes challenges, and I just want to pray. I want to pray right now a special blessing from heaven on these young people, that in the hard times, they wouldn't cower and they wouldn't run, but they would press in, and that they would experience the growth of character as they do hard things, relying on your strength and your grace to see